We're good.
Great. We ready? Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Swampscott School Committee regular session meeting. Today is Thursday, April 9th. It's 6 o'clock. You find yourself at Swampscott High School, 200 Essex Street, room B129. Great to have people here. It's a rarity. It's awesome. So I call this meeting to order. For those who don't know, my name is Glenn Pastor. I'm the acting chair, interim chair, whatever you'd like to call that. And with that, if you are so able, please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Can I ask one of you guys in the back just to shut the door for me? Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So we always kick things off with public comment. Any public comment in the room? Let's start with that. Don't be shy. We'd love to have comments. Are you sure? Anybody? All right. Are you sure? All right. I'm looking at the attendee list online. I don't believe anyone's going to ask a question, but if anyone would like to, we'll give everybody a few seconds. And we'll take that as a no. All right. Excellent. Committee comments. Sasha, let's start with you.
Hi. There have been a few updates with the school going
Sasha,
on.
since we have a lot of people, why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, hi, everyone. My name is Sasha. I'm a school committee student representative. I'm a junior, so that means you'll be seeing me next year as well. So for school updates, the robotics team, we made it to Springfield. I think we placed pretty well. So that's happening next week, right? We're leaving Thursday. For TV, Mr. Doulette is going down to the middle school tomorrow to try to convince some students to come up to the high school to perform for X-Mike. It's the beginning of quarter 4, which means senior privileges begin. The sports season has also started for the spring. I'm pretty sure, I've heard that baseball, softball, track, and lacrosse, I think all sports are doing pretty well so far. And that's all I have for me.
Great.
Tennis team was winning when I
was. Oh, tennis team as well.
They were doing a good job.
Excellent. Mr. Jantis.
Yeah, thanks, Glenn. I just wanted to mention I've been following the senior class page on Instagram where they're putting their college acceptances in, and my daughter's a senior, so I'm following it a little extra closely, but I've just been very impressed with some of the placements, and from the feedback I'm getting, from my daughter in particular, is that the students seem very pleased with a lot of the outcomes, where they've ended up, so I'm very glad to hear that.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. A lot of impressive schools. Yep.
Excellent. Anything else?
Nope.
Mr. Contreras.
I guess I have a few things. Just so everyone knows, PTO at the middle school is doing that fundraiser for the $1,000 gift card. Helps the DC trip. So if you see that online, donate some money. Maybe you'll get $1,000 in gift cards. The other one is just thanking the select board as a whole for just how respectful they've kind of been for the last few bits here around budget season. If you saw the meeting last night, they're definitely wanting to have good communication all the way up until town meeting, and so I'm hoping that everyone, even if we have disagreements, we can all agree that the budget is the way that it is, and it is the most appropriate for all of us. And I'm also looking forward for the state with their new House passing the social media and cell phone prohibition in schools. So gonna see how that goes for next school year.
All right. Thank you. Hello, Suzanne.
Hi.
Anything to add to our party?
No, sorry I'm late, but
No problem.
I don't know what was said, so skip me.
Okay. You can always chime in later. No problem. All right, for me, I do have a few things to chat about. First and foremost, and probably the most important thing that we're going to, at least for me, we're going to talk about right now is, as I'm sure most of you know, students from Nahant come to Swampscott grades 7 to 12, and that has been done for many years. This year was a contract year, and over the last 6 to 8 weeks or so, Superintendent Galishman and myself have been negotiating a contract with the superintendent in Nahant and the school committee chair in Nahant. I made sure to keep this board updated as to where we were via executive session. I've also, just for transparency and just so the community knows that the collaboration that we have here, the chair of the finance committee and the chair of the select board have also been aware of these negotiations. Although they do not have a voice in the negotiations, it rests only with the chair and the superintendent to negotiate. I wanted to make sure that those two individuals that are very important to this community were updated. So I am pleased to announce that we have come to an agreement with the town of Nahant. It's agreement for educational services between the town of Nahant and the town of Swampscott. It'll be entered today. The Nahant School Committee voted on it on Tuesday, approved it on Tuesday. I will be calling for a vote later on this evening to vote for that. As I said, it's a 5-year contract. It will start in FY28. So we have one more year in the current contract, and then this contract will run through FY32. Substance of the contract basically stayed the same as far as services, responsibility, some special education rules. But what I do want to read is just kind of something important. In the last contract, and the contract that we're still living on, we had a percent increase every year of only 2.5%. At the time that that committee that negotiated that was a good rate. Given many factors, economy-wise, education-wise, we did start negotiation on a more robust percent increase every year. So the first year of the contract, which is FY28, there'll be an increase of 3.25%. The same 3.25 will be FY29. In FY30 and FY31, that increase jumps to 3.5%. And in the final year of the contract, FY32, it's 3.75%. And that ranges from about a $60,000 increase every year up to $76,000 in the last year. So we're excited for that. I know Nahant was excited for that. We do it this way as to give cost certainty to both communities. We didn't want to get into the situation that I think it was maybe at one time, that one year you have X students, next year you have Y students. That plays havoc with both budgets. We did ensure that Nahant students coming on will pay basically the same what a Swampscott student will pay. And so we're excited for that. And I know I am. It was a really good negotiations, some back and forth. The one other thing I will add, that the one of the differences from last time is there is a reopener in this if by chance the town of Nahant would like to send additional students here. 6th grade, 5th grade. We've had a lot of conversations with that. That really is, we would absolutely take them. However, that is not our decision. That really has to come from the town of Nahant, the school committee, the superintendent, and the parents there. So that's what I have. Superintendent, anything to add?
I think you summed that up beautifully.
Great. Thank you. Any questions from the board?
Less a question, and I think just with budget season kind of in full swing right now, I don't know if you think it's appropriate to mention that special ed will be borne by Nahant, and so would transportation.
Absolutely. You want to just quickly talk about that?
Yeah, If there was an out-of-district cost for a Nahant student, which is how it has been, Nahant pays that tuition, and they pay for transportation as well. So,
I think that's just important, with all the questions with
yeah,
budget and what we're responsible for, that's clear to the folks in the community.
absolutely. So when Mr. Pastor said, it's about the same as a Swampscott student, what you have to factor in is they pay for the tuition.
Right.
So,
Thank you.
the transportation, I'm sorry, they pay for the transportation.
Great question, John. Thank you. Any other questions from the board? Okay. We'll just put this on hold and we'll vote on this later on.
Great.
Great. All right. A couple other things from me. So if you were watching the select board meeting last night, there was a lot of discussion regarding capital. And there are two issues that I think I'd like to talk about. And again, this is one is a town thing, one is a school thing. So let's start with the town thing. First of all, thank you to everyone who volunteers in the capital committee. I'm sure it's not easy. They receive many requests for funding. Two in particular, one from the town side, and this is for the track at Upper Jackson. We've talked about this a lot since it was brought to our attention here, that there was a problem with the track. And going up there, you'll notice that it really is, A, it's unusable, B, it's unsafe. It is, the track at Upper Jackson, like, all parks here are town-owned, they're not school-owned. So after, 15, 20 years or so, the track needs to be replaced. It is unfixable, needs to be replaced. And I know there was discussion last night of, when do we do it? And, to me, there's certainly a lot of, I think what you saw last night, of A's that, kind of have to be's. And we're in no position to say what a have to be is, but at least from our perspective is here, I think the track is really important. First and foremost, not only is it used by the school system, it's used by the residents, right? It's used by a lot of people, from youth soccer all the way up to residents just walking around. The challenge that we face at the school side is we charge $450 per sport for track up here, and the middle school is $275 for track. So sometimes if you think of it logically, it's a little bit tough to ask for the dollars if they don't have a home track to practice or run on. And we need every budget dollar that we can possibly get. So I do hope that capital will find, will choose to forward this to town meeting for approval. The second thing, which is a school request, has to do with computers. And it's really called district-provided devices. And that's the other side of that is BYOD, which is bring your own device. Several cities and towns have tried to go the bring your own device with just terrible results. One, you certainly lose the safety and security of the network because everyone has their own system. We can't touch, or I should say the staff at the various schools can't touch someone else's computer. They just cannot do that in any circumstances. And then there's the biggest issue, and Mr. Callishman sent this to people on the town government side, is really, it's equity, right? We really want everyone to have the same device. We don't want someone to have no device and someone to have a $2,500 laptop. It really is about the equity. And it's also about no barrier, no income barrier. It's about allowing the teachers to know that every student has the same device so they can teach whatever. It's the security, it's everything that goes with it. So I thought the questions last night at Select Board was a good question. Mm-hmm. It's a very good question. But at the end of the day, we would strongly recommend that it's now time for these devices to be changed over, new devices, and we really want to make sure from an equity point of view and a DESI compliance point of view that everybody has the same computer. So if anyone on the capital side has any questions, please reach out to the superintendent. Yep. All right. Just a couple other things. We have been meeting in tri-chair committees. That's myself, Eric Hartman, chair of the Finance Committee, and Katie Phelan, chair of the Select Board, to discuss budget, to discuss anything and everything under the sun. We have a great collaboration. And I know maybe one or two people out there think that's not true. It is very true. We have a really good collaboration. We've had some very good conversations. I think we've come to a really good agreement and discussion point about the budget for FY27, right? FY27? FY27, and just some other meetings that will happen in May and June regarding reserve accounts, not only for the school, but for the town. And I know Mr. Kalishman and the town administrator have been meeting and talking about really where, what has to happen to make that happen. So I'm excited for those meetings because that will give an equal playing field to everybody. Everybody will understand what kind of the rules of the road are. So that's really exciting. But again, to both Ms. Phelan and Mr. Hartman, it's thank you for meeting. Again, we met yesterday. It was kind of a last-minute thing, so I appreciate that. And other than that, I don't think there's anything else from me on that side of things. And with that, I will turn that over to you, Mr. Kalishman.
All right. Anybody that knows, or that was at the middle school the last 14 years, I think everybody knows my favorite team has been the math team. And finally, long awaited, they are here at school committee. The high school and the middle school math teams are here to present about all the amazing work that they do and their competitions, and I'm psyched to have them here. So, Miss, you want to take it away? Thank you. Middle school first, yes. Let's go middle school first. Coach Palazzati.
Mike's first. You can probably just share one. Yeah. Which do you prefer?
Doesn't matter.
This is.
Is it just you talking, or are there?
They're going to speak a little bit, but I'll pass it off to them.
Okay. Well, I have these. Just
Okay. Great. I did have some slides, but it's okay if they're not pulled up. So hi, this is just a very small sampling of our math team. At Swampscott Middle School, we start our season in September, and we just finished up at the end of March. And we had 50 students sign up at the start of the year. It kind of dwindled down to about 30 consistent members every single once or twice a week practicing for an hour after school. So we had 5 meets this year. Oh, there we are. Yeah. Our motto's been multiply the effort, divide the doubt this year. We compete locally against Marblehead. Marblehead Charter joined us, and Saugus this year. It used to just be Marblehead Vets and us, but we brought in 2 more teams locally this year, and our team did amazing. I could not be more proud of these kiddos and all the other ones at home. They won 4 out of 5 of the meets this year, which was incredible. Not only did they put in work every day after school, but many of these students are also doing work if they finish early in math class. They're pulling out their math team and advisory, watching videos at home. I think Alana and Michael had Dad helping them work through some of the challenging math problems. And Liam, do you want to pass out so they can kind of see kind of what our last meet looked like if you want to get a little peek at some of the problems?
Thank you.
Yeah. I can too.
You
can get a peek. They get harder as you go. That's great. But I'd love for them to share with you kind of what their big takeaway is and how it's benefited them. Make sure you guys introduce yourself. You want to go first, Sang?
Hi, I'm Sang. I'm in 8th grade, and I've been doing math team for 4 years. In my first 2 years of math team, I was with Mr. Sweeney. It was before she started coaching math team. It was really like life-changing, like being part of the math team. Like, it helped me like use my intelligence for like something better, so I could like actually like compete with other people. and it's been pretty fun doing math team.
I am Logan. Hi, I'm Logan. I'm in 5th grade, and I like how the math I get in math team makes me think about what it's really asking me a lot more than the stuff I get in math class.
Hi, I'm Michael Schusterman, and this is like my first year math team. I'm in grade 7, and I enjoyed like socializing to other people who also like math.
I'm Alana, and I'm also in 7th grade, and it's also my first year of doing math team. And I think it was like a really great experience, and I really enjoyed like just the vibe of like going to the meets and everything.
I'm Liam. I'm in 7th grade, and I just joined math team this year. Math team has helped me make new friends and challenged me to take on some harder math problems. And the competitions were really fun, especially when we won. But the key takeaway from me was working together as a team with someone.
Yeah, and I would say, like, me as an educator this year, my teaching goal has been providing opportunities for students to have that extension piece, and that definitely ties into math team, where these students who are excelling in their, general ed math class now get a chance to see math that's well beyond what they'll see at their grade level. So that's been really fantastic. And since we've had such a huge turnout in the past 2 years, I'm looking to grow the program even more next year. We have some additional competitions. A few of them are going to participate in one in Lexington in May. It's a full day, like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. math competition. So we got a few of them, like Sang and Logan, and we'll see if you guys have it in your schedule, are going to go and give it a try and look for some other additional opportunities for them to compete in the future and prep them for the high school team. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions for us?
I just want to say it's awesome as someone who loves math. I started the math league at Mathletes at Hadley School a long time ago when my kids were little, and like you guys are speaking about finding your community. I was so happy when I found other parents that wanted to like do the math league with me, because it was just like my math community. So you guys are gonna have each other throughout high school too. It's so awesome.
Great. What do we got?
I was just going to say, it's great to hear from everyone that you're enjoying it. I know a lot of people always wonder if they're going to be using math outside of school, and you'll definitely use it every day in everything, especially in the era of technology. But I definitely am enjoying to hear that you guys are also enjoying the experience of communicating with other people as well, and kind of being understood in a more logical frame, since some people are more creative or more sportsy, but there are avenues for people that are a bit more on the intelligent, logical side.
Great. Thank you for having us.
Sure.
I would just
Sorry.
John.
I just wanted to thank everyone for coming in, and I really appreciate why you shared how math club's important to you and what it means to you. I think that was really great to hear. And are we going to get the answers to the?
You'll have to submit them to me first. I'll show them over for you.
Thank you. So I don't mean to ask a non-smart question. How does one win? So you have your meet. What other than, is it just getting the question right?
So
how do you win?
So we put together of 10 students, and so the top 10 of our students get put on our scoring team. Other students go for practice, but there's 5 individual rounds. 6 kids compete from each team in the individual rounds and get points based on how many they get correct on what you see. And then they end with a team round where all 10 of them work together to solve about 9 problems, and then they just keep score as we go. Whoever has the most points at the end wins.
Wow.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
awesome.
This is just great. This is just, we talk about here. It is just great. Thank you guys. so much for coming.
I just have to give Dr. P a quick shout out. So Mr. Sweeney, when I first became assistant principal of the middle school, so I think 13, 14 years ago, Mr. Sweeney was the math team coach, and he did it for a long time and was incredibly successful. I used to get on the announcements and talk about how we used to beat the prep and beat Marblehead and all these things and try to get the math team all fired up. But the numbers grew with Mr. Sweeney. Then he retired from the math team, and we were kind of searching. Dr. P really took one for the team and has run with it. So thank you so much, and is going to be able to pass it on to Ms. Faraday at the high school. So thank you for doing it.
It's
Yeah.
actually been so much fun for me too, and learning the math again. I'm like, because I teach science, so I'm like, okay, this is kind of fun. I get to do math at the end of the day.
I think the other thing that's important when you talk about the competitions is we are a unique middle school in that we have 5th and 6th graders. A lot of the teams that they're competing against are just 7th and 8th. So they're, winning meets with 10-year-olds on the team versus 13 and 14-year-olds. So it's really impressive.
Great.
Yeah, and next year we're expanding to have two scoring teams because we have such a high interest. We're going to have 2 main teams. So
Wow.
That's great. Thank you guys so much. Congratulations.
Thank you. Ms. Faraday, you want to come up with the high school team? Go ahead, grab it.
All right. Good evening, everyone. You can hear me, right?
Yep.
Awesome. I am Miss Caroline Faraday, first year at Swampscott High School, first year coaching math team here, and I couldn't be more excited or happier to be amongst these bright little human beings. This has been an outstanding year for the math team. We actually won our Division 2, and it has been such an honor to be along for the ride. We have tonight Captain Boris here, who is our top lead point scorer of this year. He has been incredible, has shown all of the leadership skills a captain should have, and following in his footsteps for next year are our co-captains, Noah and Eliona. So I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we'll go ahead with our presentation.
So hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. My name is Boris, and I've been on the team since my freshman year. And actually, the last math team teacher, Mr. Trask, got me into the team. He was very active in getting everybody into the team. And when I joined math team, it was like this new world opened up to me. I was exposed to like real world problems, and I saw like a future in math, something related to math. Yeah.
And where are you going next year?
And so next year I'm off to Northeastern, and I'll be.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Aliona, and I've been in math team since 5th grade in middle school because Mr. Sweeney wanted me to be in it, and actually my 5th grade teacher convinced me. And I really like the team too because lots of the problems are definitely harder than the grade level. So even though you definitely won't be able to do all of them, just like being exposed to this math is really interesting.
Hi everyone, I'm Noah. I've been on the math team for 2 years. Really what got me interested in math was because my parents, not really made me, but pushed me towards taking Russian math. And I took it for almost like 7 years. And I honestly got really interested in it. It was really nice to see how like the work you put in Russian math paid off in school and made school math a lot easier. And once I joined math team, it was really nice to see like the difficulty of problems and how much harder they can get compared to in school. So it was really fun.
Yeah, so math team, it's an academic extracurricular, and we strive to solve math problems. And we compete under the Massachusetts Math League. And apart from just the math, it's a great community to be a part of. You, especially at the meets, you can meet a lot of people. And yeah, it's just an overall great community.
So team impact. So we have 15 active members. We have 5 graduating seniors. We actually didn't have any juniors this year, but we have many sophomores and freshmen. We are in Division 2. So the divisions are actually not based off rankings. They're based off region. So there are teams that are just out of this world that are in Division 7 or 8.
What's the top team?
Lexington is a really good team.
Do you remember how many points they scored this year?
They scored upwards of 800 and like.
I mean, we're not here to celebrate Lexington.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I mean,
what are we doing?
Compared to us, of course.
Compared to us, no. But
our current rank is we finished number 1 in our division.
Yeah.
We finished with 244 points, and we play a lot of local teams like Marblehead, Beverly, Revere, Lynn English, Lynn Classical, and Salem. And also, during the actual competition, it's a little confusing. So we all get given a paper that we study off of, and it gives you there's 6 problems and there's a team problem at the end. The 6 problems are very similar on the study paper to what you're actually going to see in the meet. So there's 6 rounds, and the first problem of each round is the problem corresponding to the study paper, and then you have 2 extra problems in each round, and those are just harder problems under the same subject. And then at the end, we have a team round where everybody can work together from your town to work against a team problem.
So we have like weekly sections to study the questions that were on the study sheet, and some of the topics are number theory and advanced geometry. There are also 5 to 6 competitions per year, and those are October through March. And then, sort of like how Noah said, the format is there are going to be individual rounds like algebra, geometry, and trigonometry and so forth. And for those, 5 people compete. But for the team round at the very end, the whole team will compete together for like 6-ish problems. And yeah.
Just to add on to what I love about math team is that, yes, it's a commitment, and yes, it's an extracurricular activity, but all of these students here, they're also on the soccer team. They're also doing robotics. It's a commitment, but it's not giving your whole afternoon away. It's about in maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes after school doing some math problems, and then they're off to the soccer field, and then they're off doing something else, and then the meets are only 5 to 6 meets in the whole year. So it's not a huge commitment, so you can do other things. So it's just something that we like to advertise as well, because it's this and something else. It's not just this, which is why I love it so much. Just to add on.
So there are plenty of benefits of being on math team. One of the best things is your critical thinking improves tremendously, just because of the way the problems are styled. They strive away from just like do this, follow this path, and you'll get the answer, to the point where you have to actually think what it's asking and figure out what the correct solution is. Furthermore, the resilience aspect of it, because like Noah and Aliona mentioned, the first problem, you should be prepared for that, but the other 2, unless you need to really know the topics well, or you will not be able to solve them. So being able to push through all those challenges is a great learning aspect. And we invite everybody to join the math team. Everybody on the team is really, really nice. And it's a great community, and even further, it helps for college, because once again you get those real world scenarios that will help you if you are interested in a STEM major.
So our future goals, of course, we want to increase recruitment. As we had 0 juniors this year, we want to increase recruitment so we can have more substitutes, more people, maybe even expand to multiple scoring teams. We also want to qualify for state or New England meets. We want to get into the more like the playoff version of meets, because a lot of the meets, they don't really count towards ranking or anything. We also want to host more regional meets here at Swampscott High to increase visibility as well. And we want to secure funding for transportation and league fees. That's really important to us as well.
So for season favorites, we're going to describe our favorite thing about math team. And for me, it's definitely just how unique the problems are, but also they're much more advanced, because lots of the premises are something you necessarily see in math class, not even based off level, like even if you got to AP Calculus, maybe some of the level is the same, but also the problems are just like really strange sometimes, so it's interesting.
For me, my season favorite is during one of our meets, we were really adamant on that our answer was correct, and this might be a little stubborn of us, but we took it to the people running the meet, and they actually realized that there was a mistake in one of the problems, so we did get 8 points back during that meet.
They were yelling at me. They were like, Miss Verity, you have to send this in because this is wrong. My answer's right. And I was like, okay, relax, I'll send it in. And I sent it in, and they were like, you're right, we'll accept -6 and 6. Both answers are right. So, yep. And we got the points. We got 8 points. And we ended up winning the meet by 1 point.
Oh, wow.
Because they were right. So it was good. Worth the fight.
One of my favorite things seeing this year was just seeing everybody's success. I just remember like the first meet, we had like 5 new freshmen join this year, and the first meet is always like a real challenge. And just seeing their improvement over the course of the second and third meet was just incredible. And yeah, just not only their like skill, but just their attitude towards the problems was amazing.
Wow.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Does anyone have any questions?
Any questions?
Is high school different than middle school meets? Like, do you guys have specialties? Like, they see all those individual, are they different subjects that everyone's, like someone's a geometry person and someone's a...
Yeah, does anyone want to answer that?
So, yeah, because there are like 6 different categories you can choose from. So you'll be able to choose 3 categories out of 6, and you'll just compete in those 3. So, for example, like geometry is 1, or trigonometry and algebra 2.
It's so great.
Mm-hmm. Again, thank you for sharing your stories. Again, just great to hear everything.
Sasha? Yeah?
I think it's really good to see that math team is truly a bonding experience. As you guys and both the middle schoolers said, it was like a life-changing thing that you guys really enjoy, and I like to see that. So that's really good.
We go.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming and competing. Hopefully you guys didn't get any of the awful questions that I hated during like academic decathlon of 2 trains leaving and when do they crash after a certain amount of speeds.
Thank you, Miguel. Again, from me as well. Thank you so much. Our high school and our middle school is just so impressive. And a lot that, this is great to show the community just how impressive you guys are and the teachers who are mentors and proctors and all that. So on behalf of everybody, thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Oh, you know what? Can I ask one question? Do the 2 teams ever, do you ever go down to recruit? Do you guys ever get together?
No, we should. But it sounds like you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you again, everybody. Really, it's really awesome. Thank you so much.
I just love well-rounded students, like we talked about before.
Yeah.
We want kids that are, like Ms. Farity said, on the soccer field and also on the math team and in the play and doing the best they can in school. I love it.
Right. I mean, what it does is that it definitely shows the community that, where their dollars are going.
Yep, absolutely.
Dollars just don't go to a football team or a soccer field. It goes to, all the programs that we see here, and the young men and women and the teachers who come and talk with us. So it's great. All right.
All right.
You continue.
All right, we're on to my goals review. I said, before I even get into the goals, I just want to say one of the most rewarding parts of this job has been the team aspect of it. Working with Ms. Raymond, Ms. Kent, Ms. Stella, with the principals, with Ms. Colts, with Ms. Mackey-Knowles. I mean, it has been, I feel like, as somebody who worked at the middle school for so long, I felt that camaraderie with the teachers and one assistant principal, whether it was Ms. Sanborn or Ms. Otto. And obviously, I worked so closely with them. But it really has been so rewarding and interesting to just sort of like span that team. And I feel so proud and lucky to work here. So I just want to say that. And with that, let's get to it. So next slide. So if you can remember, this whole idea is about a commitment to excellence academically, socially, emotionally, behaviorally, rooted in full transparency, deep collaboration, and student success, ultimately student success and happiness. Next slide, please. The goals, I have 1 student learning goal, 2 district improvement goals, and 1 professional learning goal. Next slide, please. Here are the indicators for you, so when you go to evaluate me, it's nice and on a bow there for you. We have that for each goal. Next slide. Goal 1 is about getting that deep-rooted data to find out what our growth is, our areas of growth are, and to build upon our areas of strength. Essentially, what are our weaknesses? What are our strengths? How do we improve? We're using data to improve targeted areas, and that was, I know there was a lot of discussion about goal 1, but I think that was the root of it. Next slide, please. In order to achieve that, I had weekly meetings with Ms. Kent and Ms. Raymond, sometimes more, weekly meetings with the principals, sometimes more. We developed the development of open architects to assess strengths and weaknesses. That was vital in order to figure out what we do well and what we need to improve on. Open Architects, as you remember, maybe has 14 dashboards. We're talking absenteeism, enrollment, MCAS scores, targeted instruction, profiles for SST, iReady scores, and more. So we really use that to get as much data as possible to use in order to show that, in order to incorporate the strengths for our students and the growth for our students. And that picture is just unbelievable. I have to say, The Fish by Chesney Cronin, that was from one of the art shows at high school. Next slide. Again, you look at the Open Architects adoption and the rollout. We had, in September and October, we set it up. We rolled out the administration and curriculum leads in the fall. In February, we had PD for administrators, and we had the soft rollout in March to the teachers. Again, 14 dashboards in Open Architects. We had bi-weekly leadership team meetings, meeting with principals weekly, central office meetings, and you've seen this chart now a couple times from the targeted instruction for 5th and 6th grade that our student growth is on the rise. We're looking at that bottom 25% and seeing what we can do here. You saw the 58% improvement in K-4, in ELA, and 102% growth in K-4 for math, and then middle school 5th and 6th, a 27% increase, and then 40% increase. So we are moving the needle, not only for our bottom 25%, but also when you think about that top 10%, which we've talked about before, about what are we giving students who want to achieve and thrive, and sort of push the envelope that way as well. And again, we've had 12 leadership meetings plus the summer retreat, and that helps us sort of calibrate those discussions and those meetings. We're calibrating, so what are we looking for in terms of quality teaching and learning, and how do we continue to improve? Next slide, please. Here are the Goal 2 indicators with the rubric. I thought Mr. Moran was still here for a second. I was going to shout him out for that picture. This is about being visible in the schools and in the community. We wanted to sort of instill an increased sense of belonging and strong relationships with students, but also staff and families as well, and sort of cultivating that sense of belonging and shared celebration that we have, and we have a lot to celebrate. Our students are doing incredible work. Next slide, please. So this is about visibility, presence, and communication, visiting schools weekly, which I've stuck to, attending after-school events, the monthly updated superintendent's newsletter, which I think probably my favorite part of it, and to me the most important part, is those other schools' highlights, all the schools' highlights that are on there. We used to hear from families, I have no clue what's happening at the high school. I have no clue what's happening at the elementary school if I had just a middle school kid. And now they can see some of the highlights across the district, all in one spot. So that's been going out monthly. Next slide, please. Sorry. And it's working. So we see that 89% of the staff feels the superintendent is visible and engaged. That was 160 responses, which we're trying not to focus on the 9.4% otherwise, but next slide, please. We're actively engaging. I'm going to art shows, the Battle of the Bands, concerts, the musical, which is one at 7 tonight, so I don't know if we're going to make it right on time, but that's okay. The student-faculty basketball game, my knee still hurts. We had the high school open house. The student cabinet at the high school has been incredible. So we've had meeting every month since October. We have one on Friday, Ms. Kent, correct? It consists of 16 students, 4 freshmen, 4 sophomores, 5 juniors, and 3 seniors. And then so many other events as well. So again, the musical tonight is the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and they had the Poe musical in the fall. So just some of the things we've been doing. Next slide, please. 92% of families feel that I've been visible and engaged. Next slide. Here's an example of a newsletter. The monthly newsletter highlights and has a feedback loop, which I think is very important so people know how to directly communicate with me. I mean, I will say that most people just sort of come up to me at games or at plays or at musicals or in the hallways or around town, which is fine. But if people want to get in touch with me immediately and I haven't seen them, they can certainly use the newsletter to communicate with me. But I've been to the whole team did the block party, we did the farmer's market, I've had superintendent's coffees, I've been to a PTO meeting at least in every school, and hopefully there's more to come. Next slide. 80% of the families are confident about how to reach out. So I will say one of the things that once I saw that, I'll be honest, the 80% annoyed me. I wanted it to be higher. So I made the box in the newsletter, if you saw even today, I'm not judging if you haven't read my newsletter yet, but it's really pronounced, sort of like if you want to communicate with me, like here is the box, click it.
I feel like, is that at the end?
We pushed it to the beginning now.
You did?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at the end always, but.
Yeah.
All right, next slide, please. I've been working hard cultivating relationships. I was at the select board meeting last night. I've had several different meetings and calls with the town administrator. I'm developing a positive relationship with him. Sort of what Mr. Pastor said earlier, that I feel like there is this narrative out there that the town and the school are always at odds, and I really haven't found that to be the case. And I feel like we can build on this positive relationship going forward. I've been to FinCom, I've been to Capitol. Rotary meetings, I've met with Ms. Sager from the Tides. Mrs. Otto and I meet with Shore Diversity every other month. And kind of rolling out, at the end of this year, we have helped start the Swampscott Educational Foundation, which I'm excited about, and hopefully there's good things to come there as well.
Isn't there is an event?
Yeah, there's an event at Sam Walker's.
Okay.
Yep. Next slide, please. Here are the indicators for Goal 3. Next slide. Goal 3 is that Swampscott advantage that we talked about, that, you know, in and out of the classroom, whole child is set up for success, and that they're going to be happy and prepared and ready to lead a sort of meaningful life. And one of the things I've talked about before is that, you know, I don't expect every 13-year-old or 14-year-old or 15-year-old to say, like, oh my, I have it so good in math right now. I have it so good in the school. I get it, that's not really where they're at. Some of them, I think, feel that way. But others, hopefully it clicks in later. It's like having that, you know, coach or teacher that you realize later on that even though they were difficult or even though you had your struggle, that they really had your best interest in mind, and wow, they allowed me to grow so much. I feel that way about our entire school community, that hopefully one day you're in a college classroom and saying, wow, like talking to your roommate or something, and they didn't get the same experience that you got here. I feel, you know, whether you're going to school or to the workforce or to the military, I want our kids to be set up for success. Next slide, please. So how we did with that Swampscott Advantage, we talked about teacher support, instructional presence, the PD transformation, and instructional coaching, which has to do with, you'll see slides and some information coming up on the new teacher orientation was a huge success. Walkthroughs in the building. Anytime I'm at the building, I'm trying to get into as many classrooms as I can. I will say I can't resist getting out there and doing traffic. It's probably why I was sunk down to 80% and probably making enemies out there for telling people to pull all the way up. They thought they were done with me, and now I'm at the high school saying, come on, come on. Like I said, I'm at each school weekly. You'll see the PD transformation, that the sessions now have clear, measurable goals that are aligned with our district objectives. And to be honest with you, Teach Point has been a game changer. We are evaluating now, and we didn't evaluate for years. So not so much, and again, it's not an I got you or anything like that. It's more about having honest conversations with teachers about what's working, what's not working, how can we improve. Next slide, please. So you can see the new teacher orientation was 3 days before the school year started. Then those teachers become part of our mentoring program, and as you can see, that our new teachers feel excited, supported, valued, and I believe this directly correlates to that Swampscott Advantage that we were talking about. That's the new teacher orientation. I wish Ms. Faraday was still here. She could have talked about it. Then we have our PD. Our PD, the whole entire point of PD is we want it to be meaningful, effective, and applicable. We had over 1,200 exit tickets, and it's important for everybody to know that, internally, every dollar on PD and every hour in the classroom impacts the students and their success. So having good quality PD versus something that people are bored with that they don't think is applicable to the classroom is a waste. So it was a conscious decision to really push that envelope forward, and with the help of Ms. Kent, I believe we did that. And this all goes back to the kids, so I think we can keep that in mind as we head to goal number 4. Here, again, the indicators. So this, for me, the professional practice goal was the new superintendent's induction program. I'm wrapping up year 1 of that. To improve strategy development, use data. After I presented the goals the first time, I believe the board asked me to have an increased sort of vision on budget and to really hone in on the budget aspect of that. And I've been to our North Shore Superintendent's Roundtable. That has been a great experience as well, getting to know other superintendents, sort of building my network and having somebody that I could, people that I can sort of bounce ideas off of and see if they are facing similar challenges. So the budget, I will say, I've had almost daily meetings with Ms. Stella, sometimes multiple times a day. I would say that just as sort of, if I'm looking back on it, and when I started in July, and even when, Ms. Angelakis brought me into a lot of meetings last year, I don't think I realized just how much time would be consumed with the budget. So I've learned a ton this year. I've learned so much about the budget. I've answered questions about the budget, which sometimes, even if it's repeatedly, I guess I'm learning it. So I would say countless hours with Ms. Stella, really trying to fine-tune our budget, making sure that we're collaborating with the town, being mindful of the restrictions and the financial restraints of the town, constraints of the town, but also we're trying to push the district forward, so making some smart decisions there. I've had 11 NISIP meetings. My mentor, Jane, who's been to a few of these meetings, I think you've all met her. I've had 11 meetings with her and over 20 calls. And the North Shore Superintendent's Roundtable, I've had 5 meetings. And like I said, I think the networking's been extremely valuable. Just as far as other sort of budget related too, just in meetings with the chair since the beginning of the year, I've had over 100 calls and 20 plus meetings with the chair. That's when Ms. O'Connor was the chair and Mr. Pastor. Next slide, please. Thank you. Here's what we learned, along with admittedly, the budget, what I learned about the budget. But the Parent Square, we heard from parents, the Parent Square can be a little too much. I don't know if you feel that way as a parent, but I can see what they're saying. If you have kids in multiple schools and you're getting ding, 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 I'm guilty too. I have kids in 2 of the schools, and it's sort of, I hope Erin's handling that or whatever, because I can't read it right now. So we're going to sort of, we're going to look at how we can have certain days for certain schools and really fine-tune that. We want to elevate student voice. I think that student cabinet has been incredible and such an opportunity for us to learn, and we're hoping for next year to bring it down to the middle school as well. So we want to have opportunities for students to share their thoughts. Again, we want to continue to grow in the classroom and beyond, but that bringing up that bottom 25%, pushing that top 10% is going to continue to be vital for us. And I think one of the other sort of things that I realized that I need to be more visible at SES as well. I get to SES. I think at the beginning of the year, I was really focused in on the high school and learning the high school, and the fact that SES is they have 3 administrators, so I kind of thought they, not that they can't, they certainly can, but it was important for me to be visible at SES as well. And I think for the vast majority of the beginning year especially, I was here. So if I could do it over again, I would certainly sort of divvy up the time a little bit more balanced and get to learn the elementary school as well. But I'm certainly there. I'm there weekly. I think if I'm looking at it honestly, I would try to get there a little bit more often. And the last slide is a thank you. So again, moving forward, we're looking at Parent Square, looking at PD, looking at student achievement, being smart about me being at the elementary school a little bit more. And that's it. That's my update.
Great, thank you very much. Very informative. Any questions off the bat? You can definitely ask questions anytime today, next week. Any top of mind thoughts?
Curious. I was a fly on the wall a couple weeks ago about the student cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you? Have the kids felt heard and anything changed because of what they're doing, or is it just you getting information? Is it two-way? Because it was kind of interesting feedback. I mean, it was just.
Well, I mean, I think that's a major reason why seniors have privileges now.
Right.
I think that I certainly, not that I was closed to the idea of senior privileges, but we talked about lunch and the rush getting out. And then there was the equity issue as far as like, well, if you don't have a class first period or last period, what's that mean? What's that look like? So we really, Ms. Otto and I and Ms. Kent, we really talked about how do we, Ms. Kent helped get the information, then sort of Ms. Otto and I were talking about how do we make things special for the seniors. And we'll see if we made the right decision, but I think that's where it stemmed from.
You're gonna have open campus soon enough, like when they leave.
Exactly. You're going to have open campus in 7 weeks or whatever, but yes.
Right.
So that came from there. I think a lot of the discussions, if you remember the beginning of the year about the banners,
Yeah.
that was a hot button topic that I did not anticipate. I think for me, when I walked into Swampscott High School, I said for years, even as the middle school principal, just like, so weird that we just have sports up. Like, I just feel like you walk in, and it really upset some of the students. And then I got a chance to explain my rationale. So yeah, I think it helped a lot. I think that hearing from the students directly, the phones come up a lot. I think we're going to agree to disagree, and the state, the laws are going to be the laws.
That's going to be taken out of our hands.
Yeah, it's going to be taken out of our hands.
14, so it's still going to be a problem up here.
Yeah. Unless they ban them in every school.
Right.
But still, it's still going to be a fight. People sneaking, you're not going to catch every student in the bathroom sneaking a text. So I think there was common ground. I think the most important piece of the cabinet is that it's building relationships. It's that when they see me, they know they can come talk to me about an issue, or to Ms. Kent or Ms. Otto, or whoever else shows up. But it really is just opening up that line of communication.
Are the kids, like in the cabinet, building relationships within the cabinet, because they're really diverse group of kids, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, I think the seniors are kind of sticking together a little bit, but everybody else, and not that they're not, they're being, incredibly kind and leaders and all that, but if we gave them the choice to sort of cut with their groups, I think the seniors would sort of lock together.
Right.
And then complain about no open campus, and then they got it, so.
Yeah, no, that's great. And the dashboard data with the improvement, like K through 4 and then 5 and 6, is high school and middle school coming next? Is that
5th and 6th is the middle school.
No, so not 7th and 8th or.
Well, we're working on that. We're working on.
I was just wondering.
So it gets a little trickier at 7th once you incorporate a language. It's just the schedule gets tight, but we are.
I have some results.
You have. Ms. Kent.
We have invited 37 students for 7th grade to participate. Mr. Knowles and Ms. Minter and I divvied up the list of the 37 to call the parents and see. So I took the parents that had come to the information sessions that we had created, because at least they know my face, but 5 out of 7 of my invitees are in.
We're in.
So we'll see.
Great.
Yeah.
So I obviously have some experience with this, sort of. So basically, before we had, I'm blanking. Oh my God. We used to have enrichment. It was enrichment for 5th and 6th.
Oh, yeah.
And before we got rid of an enrichment teacher because of the budget. And the fight was always sort of, well, my kid hates math, and now you're going to make 40% of their day math. I get that argument. I get it, especially if you're going to 7th or 8th grade. I don't mean to have my back to you, sorry. That it's really tricky. So I need the extra support, but now I don't want to come to school because 40% of my day is math. So I'd rather take a language. And I didn't push it because I got it. And I think we're in a similar situation now where with targeted instruction that Ms. Kent and Ms. Minter and Mr. Knowles is sort of now, that's why it's so helpful that you had the information session and that you're reaching out to parents because they're going to have to make their own choice. I mean, I don't think we want to force anybody into doing it because then we're not going to get as much out of them. And who's to say that they're not going to get more out of going into Spanish or French?
Right.
So I don't want to do it just based off of MCAS. You got to think about the whole child there. But it is something that came up 12 years ago, 10 years ago, and it's still going to be an issue. But I think the more information we have out there, the better. And the kids they're more confident. And my ultimate hope is that all this work, K to 6, gets us to the point where, I mean, maybe those numbers are really small in 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, I had just a follow-up question on that same dashboard.
Yeah.
On the results page. So, and I'm sorry if I missed it, the 58% increase, 102%, 27, et cetera. What metric are we talking about? Is that?
Oh, this is iReady. iReady.
What is that?
iReady's our internal test that we give 3 times a year to see student growth. So it's not a state test like MCAS. It's something we use.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was going. I wasn't sure if it was a state thing or.
Yeah. No, this is us.
Can I dovetail before you go? I was curious, those are very impressive numbers, 58% and especially 102% in math. How do we measure that and how do we get there? How did we get there? Those are pretty exuberant numbers.
So I think targeted instruction played a role. I think the Tier 1 instruction in the classroom played a role. I think the confidence that goes with feeling some success in the targeted instruction groups that then leads to your regular math class is really important. And I mean, listen, think about being a kid in 3rd or 4th grade and being lost. It's the worst. It's such a horrible feeling. So now kids are getting what they need, so they're more prepared for the classroom. And I think that confidence is leading to some student success. Now, mind you, I think we'd all agree, iReady's flawed, MCAS is flawed, but it is measured. It's one measurement, so we can use it and see what we can find with it.
I mean, iReady is your score against your score, right? It's not like you against.
It's their growth at the second, yeah,
right.
and then
So
they take it again.
I mean, it doesn't really.
It's normed, yes.
It is now
it's normed.
Yeah. So they do give you percentile and
So you get,
all that.
but you
So,
get both things.
Yep, you get compared to students in your school and
Right.
also students in the country that took that same test.
But I was just arguing for if it's flawed, it almost, not that it negates, but everyone's taking.
Everyone's taking,
flawed.
yeah, yes, exactly.
And you're
Flawed,
comparing
same,
your
you
growth
compare,
to your
yes.
growth.
Yes.
So it doesn't, I was just arguing for it.
And it progressively gets harder too.
Yep.
For example, when you take it 3 times a year, the test that you take in the beginning of 4th grade is different, rigor than the test you take at the end of 4th grade.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you grow the way it shows if you're closing gaps, which is the good part. And if standards align, we can see exactly where the weaknesses are and when so that we can use targeted intervention to help students.
I mean, it's going to be interesting too. In fact, there's no secret. Like we look at the June test at the middle school, you have a certain window for MCAS, and then for the 8th graders, they're going to DC. So it's kind of jammed in there. I mean, I'm interested to see how they do. I don't think it's going to be the best reflection of their growth. Maybe they'll do great, but I just think it's a tricky time. You just took 4 at the middle school again. Remember, the 8th graders take 4 different MCAS tests, which is more than anybody else. 5th and 8th take 4, and then
They get a survey.
yeah, and then they get a survey,
Right.
and then they take iReady, and then they go to DC. So it's great.
The iReady, is that the test also that just kind of keeps progressing until you hit the wall?
Yes.
Yes, it's adaptive.
Yeah.
I have a question, actually. So on the newsletter,
Yes.
are we I know we have talked about this, but is there a way, and we might even do this, that we, similar to what the town does with their monthly newsletter, could we send this to the entire community?
So I send it to the town every month, but they only have limited space, so they kind of take what they think is important and then they jam it in there. So they don't get the whole town doesn't get the entire newsletter. The reason I don't put it on the website is for security. So like we have pictures of kids, we have videos of kids. So I don't want it to live on the website year-round.
Right.
Because I thought of that because, then anybody can just go on our website and see the message.
Right.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
Have you talked with the town administrator around the new website? Because I know the new website is interesting. Since you can sign up.
You're being very nice about the new website, by the way.
That's why my word was interesting. Where you can kind of sign up for alerts for very particular things. Like I get alerts the moment the finance committee posts their agenda. That gets delivered to me as a text message now. So I don't know if there's something similar to that where it could be an option for anybody that wants to get updates around the school.
Yeah, I mean, even if we could give them, versus them selecting, if you could give them a newsletter without, any student pictures and have them send it out to the entire community. This really, to me, this goes back to the budget discussion that we have every year. And I think that we need to remember that, what is it, 35% odd, 40%, whatever that number is of residents who have students in district, and we want to reach those other 60%.
Yep.
Because they're voters, they're town meeting members, and I think we want to inform them of just the great things going on. We had great things tonight, and I think that would be a really couple great topics.
Okay.
So just something to think about.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
All right.
Thank you.
Anything else from you guys?
Weren't you sending the messages to finance committee or town meeting?
It goes to the
members?
chairs.
Yeah, it goes to the chairs.
Yeah. I think this was great. I want to read through it again, and I'll have some more questions that we'll ask in public next Thursday. Great, thank you so much. Before we go further, just because I just remembered something, I did receive an email today from the MASC regarding a Chapter 70 presentation that they are putting on. We get a lot of these. This one absolutely caught my eye. I thought it was really well written, so I shared it with the school committee. I shared it with our two incoming school committee members. I also sent it to the chairs of the select board, finance committee, and the town administrator. I'm hopeful that someone will take advantage of it. If they don't tune in live, they can watch the replay. I think it'd be very valuable for everybody to learn exactly what Chapter 70 is and the limitations that we have for Chapter 70 dollars. So that's it for me. There's a note on facilities, Director.
I think that was...
Okay. You want to, though, since we're talking about the facilities director, you want to just mention what happened last night regarding the statement of interest?
Sure. Last night, Mr. Casper and I went to Select Board, and they voted unanimously to approve the SOI process for the middle school. Yes, very exciting.
I was just thinking of something. Two people have asked me about the elementary school and the solar panels and cost-saving questions. Are they live?
So the solar panels, I believe, are live. The canopy's out.
Right.
But I don't know. I'd need Max to know if there's any sort of cost benefit yet.
I was just wondering if there was any data on that yet.
I can reach out to Mr. Casper.
Yeah, no, two people have asked me recently, and I was just like, not involved anymore, I don't know.
If you send them to me, I can certainly get them the answers.
Yeah, no, I just...
We'll definitely see savings in the summer.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
no.
Anything from subcommittees anywhere? Okay. Actions and votes. The first one is the agreement for educational services between the Nahant School District and the Swampscott School District. And as we discussed earlier, what those dollars are. If I could have someone please make a motion to approve the agreement.
I make a motion to approve the agreement of educational services between Nahant and Swampscott.
Great. Someone second, please.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It passes unanimously. So I have to deal with this for several more years.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you. Again, thank you to Superintendent for joining me in the discussions, to the chair of the Nahant School Committee, Patty, and to the superintendent. Thank you very much, and as well as, especially want to call out Eric Hartman for his questions and comments as well. All right, one more, vote to approve regular session minutes for March 26th, 2026. Can someone please make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the regular session minutes of March 26th.
Great, someone please second. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then just before we adjourn, just to remind everyone sitting here in the community, we are going to have a meeting next Thursday, April 16th, and that it will be Suzanne's last meeting with us. So as much as Suzanne did not want to have a special meeting, we are. So we'll see everybody here on the 16th. Can someone please make a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Someone second? All those in favor?
Aye.
We are out.